Hi, everybody. I brought with me today Kyle Hawks, who's an executive program director for an organization called Wilson House that has live-in facilities for chronically alcoholic homeless men.
Lydia Boyd is my guest again today. Lydia is waiting on Rotary information. She is an independent branch leader and financial consultant here in Lakeland with Charles Schwab. And listen, before she's even a member, she is actively engaged in our committee for the golf tournament. So kudos to Lydia. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have with me Jennifer Stewart. She is a enterprise account director at Summit Broadband.
For visiting Rotarians, we have Michelle Emerson Lewis, past president with Tampa and Tampa. Michelle. That's all we got. All right, now for Happy Dollars, Melody Ryder.
Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, who's happy? Happy dollars. Yeah.
Can I just
I just wanted to be super happy because after months of renovation and in and out of the office, it's rebuilt and we are back to being open. So very happy. Happy dollars over here.
Florida, down by
I'm also happy to be at my newly renovated apartment that's taken just under a year.
Ooh.
Well done. Okay, one over here. Two happy dollars. By the way, it's good to see you. Thank you. I'm Angela Falconetti, president of Polk State. I'm honored to be here today, but I have two happy dollars specifically because Michelle McNaid has joined our foundation board at Polk State College. That makes me very happy, along with the fact that Jeff Baldwin is our vice president for resource development and has joined our college. But I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Mayor, for all of you. Hi, I'm happy that my daughter Alexandra turned 4 this weekend, and she got to spend the weekend doing big water slides at the resort. Awesome. Okay, Michelle, are you happy?
Hi, I'm very happy. It's been a while since I've been here in person, so actually I should put more money in the package.
I haven't taken it.
I saw Nate this week and I said, I will be there. I'm just happy to share that I'm a graduate of USF, so I'm an alum, and recently our agency Nate was named as one of the USF Fast 56, one of the fastest growing USF-led businesses in the country. So that was quite a recognition for us here. Very proud of that.
Congratulations. Who else is happy? You happy? That's it, Nate. President
All right.
Nate, it's all you.
Mike Loud, lead us in some wonderful singing.
Number 57 in your Rotary songbook, found on page 80. The page number's at the bottom. The 57's at the top. R-O-T-A-R-Y, that spells road. Yeah. Here we go. R-O-T-A-R-Y, that spells rotary. R-O-T-A-R-Y is no land and sea. From north to south, from east to west, keep prophets most who serves the best. R-O-T-A-R-Y, that spells rotary.
Thank you, Mike. All right, now for a few announcements. If Jack wants to make his way up, and while he's doing that, I placed on all the tables some district information. So please feel free to check that out. There is a lot going on in the district, so please check it out. If you are interested in any of that, please see me, and I will get you where you need to go. Also, the foundation game will be held on November 3rd. It'll be right here in Lakeland, and I think this might be the first time it's being held in Lakeland. So we are looking for some sponsors for this event. So we're looking for people that will sponsor this event for $250. If you are interested in that, please come see me so I can get you signed up for that. And now, Mr. Logan.
Thank you, President Nate. Just a quick reminder, a couple things about the golf tournament. I know you keep getting all my emails, so I apologize for blowing up your inbox. But we're 3 weeks away. We need your help. So I did get one bottle donation today for the basket of cheer and some cash. So if you have a bottle or you have some cash, and I'll do the shopping for you, please see me after the meeting. Also, I wanted to clear something up. There's been a little bit of confusion. Volunteers get to eat free the day of the tournament. So you get lunch, and if you're around when it's over, if you have a steak dinner waiting for you. So if you're waiting for an excuse to volunteer, you get 2 free meals, you get all you can drink. It's really a fun day. You get to be outside and out of work. Also, for those of you who are not volunteers but still want to come, the award ceremony at the end of the night, the steak dinner, does qualify as a fellowship event. Tickets are $50. We'll have a link set up for that. But we'd love for you to come join us and get to see somebody take a shot at a 60-foot putt for $2,500. So there's lots of fun stuff happening. If you have stuff you can donate for sponsorship, please see me or Jason Wyatt. And raise your hand, Jason. Thank you. Nobody does see Jason Wyatt. So anyway, but please, we need your participation. We need your help. So please help us where you can. Thank you.
Do you want me to get in again? Yes.
Okay, now if Greg O'Goyan would come up along with your sponsor. Get to induct a new member today, and Greg took it upon himself to do it a little bit differently with his fun facts, which I think is pretty neat. So he gave me 2 truths and 1 lie, and we get to figure out which one is the lie. So statement number 1, I was once held for 8 hours by the Russian government as a suspected spy. Number 2, I played hockey all through my youth, and in high school was recruited to try out for the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team. And number 3, I played golf for over 30 years, but have never scored better than 70. Which one is the lie? But first, Greg, it is my pleasure to welcome you into the Lakeland Rotary Club. You are joining the oldest service organization in the world, an institution begun in 1905 by Paul Harris and 3 other businessmen in Chicago. Today, Rotarians number 1.2 million members and 34,000 clubs in more than 200 countries. The Lakeland Rotary Club was founded in 1918, the 6th club in Florida. For the past 103 years, this club has served this community and others throughout the world in need, growing to its current membership of nearly 200, one of the largest in the state. You are joining a club with a proud tradition and continuing commitment to service above self. We invite you to get to know all of our members through fellowship and service, and have a little fun while doing it. You will be provided the opportunity to learn about our community through weekly programs and serve on various committees dedicated to Rotary's ideals. Whether you prefer local or international service projects, you will have ample opportunities to serve. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our newest Rotarian, Greg O'Goyan. Now he's going to tell us which is the lie.
What do you think?
The golf.
We're not good at golf.
The golf.
Which one was the lie?
The golf.
Well, that I've never scored below 70? I suck. I'm going to tell you, I played for a long time and I suck. Which one? Actually, the first one's true. I was held for 8 hours by the Russians in 1975 in St. John's, Newfoundland, as a suspected spy. I was just drinking with some Russian guys. I was in the service drinking with some guys when we went back to the ship, and they didn't know we were Americans. No, I did play hockey growing up in high school, but I really wasn't that. That was a lie. I was not invited to try the 1980 miracle team. Remember that?
I do. I go to the ice in my hometown.
Thank you, Greg. Okay, and now Brenda Ramirez to introduce our program today.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to introduce to you today Dr. Angela Falconetti. Dr. Falconetti was named Polk State College's 5th president in May 2017. In her first year, Dr. Falconetti focused on increasing external communication through building relationships with community members, elected officials, business leaders, and alumni, while internally she hosted forums with students, faculty, and staff to learn directly what they most value about the college. From this collective input, she developed a vision to strengthen student success and has worked to expand partnerships with local employers, organize new learning opportunities, and increase connections between the college and nonprofit groups that provide support services for students. Additionally, Dr. Falconetti has advocated successfully at the state level to secure recurring operational funds for the college. Dr. Falconetti is an active leader in national and statewide organizations, serving the American Association of Community Colleges Commission on Institutional Infrastructure and Transformation, the Steering Committee for the Florida College System Council of Presidents, the Florida Association of College and Universities, the Florida Chamber Foundation Board, and the Florida Department of Transportation's Multi-Use Corridor of Regional Economic Significance Task Force, and Southwest Central Florida Connector Task Force. Locally, she serves on several boards of organizations, including Career Source Polk, the Central Florida Development Council, Club Hispano de Lakeland, the Lakeland Area Chamber of Commerce, the Lakeland Economic Development Council High Skill High Wage Initiative, Polk Vision, United Way of Central Florida, the Vanguard School Foundation, the Winter Haven Economic Development Council, Winter Haven Hospital, and the Greater Winter Haven Chamber of Commerce. A native Floridian with 2 decades of service in 3 states, Dr. Falconetti has extensive experience in all aspects of higher education administration. She holds a bachelor's degree with specializations in communications and education from New York University. She earned a master's degree and a doctorate in educational leadership from the University of North Florida with specializations in instructional leadership and post-secondary education and adult learning. She later completed an endowed postdoctoral fellowship in community college leadership with the University of Texas at Austin, while working as a research associate for the Community College Survey of Student Engagement. In 2016, she became a certified fundraising executive. At the national level, Dr. Falconetti served as special assistant to the first Deputy Assistant Secretary for Community Colleges in Washington, D.C. Prior to being named president of Polk State College, she served as vice president of institutional advancement at Virginia Western Community College and as executive director of the foundation. Dr. Falconetti's publications include a book chapter and journal articles on the Community College Baccalaureate. Her recognitions include the National Orientation Director Association's 2007 National Research Award and the University of North Florida's 2007 Outstanding Dissertation and 2003 Academic Advisor Awards. Dr. Falconetti has a personal commitment to the Florida college system and its students. Her parents, both Cuban exiles, completed their degrees at Florida colleges. As is the case for so many families, the Florida college system provided the opportunity to work toward better job options and improved quality of life. Dr. Falconetti is dedicated to ensuring all students have the chance to receive a quality education and is committed to advancing the mission of Polk State College. Let's welcome Dr. Falconetti.
Yes, of course. Wow, I feel tired after hearing that. I don't know about you, but I always say, it doesn't make me any better than anybody in the room. It just means that I'm a bit of a nerd, if you haven't already noticed. I tease our students and tell them that because I just love to learn, and I love to be with people, and I love to learn from people. I'm just grateful, Brenda, for that long introduction, but very kind introduction. And I have been very blessed, you know, just like you in the room, you work very hard and you have a goal in mind. And yes, I did have the goal of serving as a president one day. But it wasn't because I only set my mind on that. My goal was really to be in a community that I could really impact the students positively. And I always felt the doors open, they would. And if they wouldn't, I would be led to where I was supposed to make a difference while I'm on this earth. And that's what it's really about. It's about helping our county. It's about helping Lakeland. It's about helping Winter Haven and our students grow. But, you know, Brenda mentioned recognitions. My most esteemed recognition, if I may just for a moment, is receiving the Athena Award by the Lakeland Chamber at the same time that Brenda received it. And so if you haven't already been made aware, Stacy Campbell-Dominic, who couldn't be with us today, who invited me to be here, also received the Athena Award this last couple of weeks ago, I believe. I happened to be in Tallahassee. This year, I have the honor of serving as chair of the Council of Presidents of the 28 colleges across the state. And I couldn't miss being there since I'm chairing the meetings, but my heart was here. It was interesting. I was with Phillips Photography. I know many of you may know Phillips Photography. I was with him and I got to see a snapshot of all the photos from that night, not all, but a good number before they were given to the Lakeland Chamber. So I'm just so proud. I'm so proud to be a part of this community. And I do want to share one thing. I love all of Polk County, but I love Lakeland. That could be a campaign or something of the sorts. But I love Lakeland. I would like to ask Brenda, how long do I have to speak? I didn't ask you prior to. A couple of hours? 3? Okay, thank you so much. So about 5 till. Thank you. Please give me a warning, even though I have a wonderful clock there. But again, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. You might think, wow, she really needs to get a life, right? But no, I have one. I have a wonderful husband who is extremely supportive. And I have a 10-year-old daughter who attends the Roberts Academy right here in Lakeland. We're very fortunate that Florida Southern has that option for students. She has just a slight case of dyslexia, and we have been just so blessed to be here in this county. But I will share with you, like in your roles, this is a 24/7 job. There's barely any breathing room, especially when you serve as the chair of the Council of Presidents. And so I'm honored. I'm blessed. I'm just so fortunate to, in my time here, have met great people like Alice Hunt, like Michelle Ledford, of course, our mayor, who's been extremely supportive of Polk State and me since I began in this role, like Brenda, like all of you really in the room, great friends of the college. But you really want to know a little bit about the college, and I love talking about Polk State. That is my favorite topic. I do not like talking about myself, so let's move forward. Just want to provide you with an update, because all of you in this room must know about our college. If you haven't heard of Polk State College, please stop and see me on the way out. I'd like to know why. You know, my predecessor did an excellent job with the District Board of Trustees and the team at the college to really grow the footprint and add baccalaureate programs. And so now the question is, what about the present? It's a gift. The present is a gift. So if you look here, even during the time frame that we, you know, experienced the onset of the pandemic in March of 2020, we still survived. Our enrollment is still at approximately 14,000 degree-seeking students and 9,000 individuals working in workforce training. So that really means some of our Associate of Science programs, but the majority of that 9,000 includes the students that are pursuing non-credit opportunities, so courses that they can take to lead to testing for a national industry recognized credential. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. As you can see our demographics, there are a couple of brochures in front of you that may look like this, facts and figures, if you're interested just to pick them up and take a quick look. This is 2021, just hot off the press this week. You'll see, of course, we predominantly female students. Average student age is 24.6, but we have 3 collegiate high schools. So that includes the 3 collegiate high schools. Excluding the high schools, our average age is 26. And you'll see we've been comprised of majority part-time students for quite some time. We're very different than our great neighbors at Florida Southern, at Weber, in Warner, in that we don't have the residential life. By state law, by statute, we're not permitted to provide residential life. So we are proud to serve approximately 7,000 students here in Lakeland. So we have 3 sites. One is our big Lakeland campus right off of Winter Lake Road, if you're familiar with that campus, and then 2 smaller sites. One on in Lakeside. We call it Lakeside, but it's not really Lakeside. It is over by the Lakeland International Airport. One is our aviation program, and the other predominantly is comprised of our health science program. But I always think that's a cool fact, because if you look that we serve the entire county, we have 6 sites, that's 7,000 students we train and we educate right here in Lakeland. So you can see it's we're going to our aerospace program, education, health science programs, many of them, not all, Associate of Arts, and our 3 collegiate high schools, 2 of which are located on our main Lakeland campus. Our health sciences, just wanted to share an interesting fact in that we're seeing an increase in the need for the health professions. I'm sure that Melanie Ryder, Dr. Ryder, if I spoke with her right now in front of all of you, she'd say, yes, we're experiencing the same at Kaiser. You know, as the health profession continues to see a need for specifically really well-trained, qualified nurses, and also all different facets of the health sciences, we know that we have room to grow. And so that's something that Polk State College will be focusing on, is growing our health science programs. Look at the impact of the pandemic. We've lost many loved ones. It's been awful, really, if you think about it. Take a moment to reflect on that. But we know at Polk State College that we can help, that we can be part of the solution, and we believe that we are the solution. So you'll see an increased enrollment in critical areas like respiratory care and cardiovascular technology, but our health science continue to see an increase in enrollment, and we are dedicated to expanding our health science programs. So more to come in that regard. I've had great conversations with the team with Winter Haven Hospital Bay Care. I have the honor of serving on that board. Advent Health, having some conversations about, you know, what really is needed. Of course, the first answer I can save you all time if you ever want to talk to them about it, but it's nursing. I mean, you know very well the nursing profession is suffering right now. Also in aerospace, so that's an exciting program. As you may know, we established the program in 2013. I've now served in this role, thank God, for 4 successful years. I'm looking for more success in the future for the college and for the community. But we've grown from 9 students in January of 2013 to 300 students to be served this year. I'd like to focus on that last bullet point, Aircraft Dispatcher Certification Program. If a student completes that program, they complete a non-credit program, but they also complete approximately 36 credits that articulate directly into the Associate of Science. So if they come and study to be an aircraft dispatcher, then they get to transfer that credit into an AS program if they desire to do so. So it's really a great program. We're looking at more what is called articulated credit. So if a student wants to go straight to work, you know, take the test, become an aircraft dispatcher, and then decides, well, I want to continue my education. Well, they've already completed 36 credits in their Associate of Science degree. So we're really working very hard to develop meaningful pathways to completion for our students. Our education programs, you see that we offer these primarily, even though we have a lot of hybrid and online courses, primarily on our Lakeland campus. We launched the first program in 2016, and we're proud to have seen now over 100 students graduate. Our former superintendent, Jackie Bird, and I, if many of you might recall, we established a program titled Establishing Leaders in Teacher Education, which really is a program for junior and seniors in the high school to graduate with their Associate of Arts degree. So when they graduate, then if they're exposed to us and they're part of this cohort, pending the test that they need to take to test for the education program, they will articulate directly into their junior and senior year with us at 18 years old. The goal is to graduate, you know, at about 20 years old, and then ensure that they move directly into the classroom. So they're guaranteed employment with the public school system, of course, if they perform well. So we're really trying to be very creative about how to meet the workforce shortages here. And really, the importance in doing so, of course, is collaborating with each and every one of you to make that happen. So our collegiate high schools, we have 2 in Lakeland. In particular, you'll see our collegiate high school class of 2021, the data is listed there. You can see it. I'm not going to read it, but I do want to share that we did have 170 graduates of that class in 2021 and 2.1 million in scholarships. But look at the other number. 103 of the 170 achieved a 4.0 or above. My first commencement ceremony for the collegiate high schools, the first year I was here, many of you might have had loved ones that graduated from the collegiate high school. But my first commencement ceremony, I was shocked to see how many students stood up that had above a 4.0. I don't know. When I was in high school, there wasn't above a 4.0. I don't know about you. That was the highest you could get ever, or in college. And now I don't understand. They have 4.7s and 4.8 ITs. I do understand, actually, but I tease our high school principals a lot and say, how is that possible? The chancellor I worked for in Virginia used to tell me, you know, Angela, I had a 4.0 when I graduated, a 2.0 my first 2 years, and a 2.0 my last 2. I said, that's not, you're not doing the math right, Chancellor. I will not agree to having that. I had a 3.98 all the way until I got to my postdoctoral fellowships. And I took 39 credits, which could have qualified for a master's degree just for fun. with a 4.0 just to prove that I could do it. So, different people, different structure, different folks. And along those lines, if you look at the other program that we have, it's a Lakeland Gateway to College program. And that's really for students who need a little extra attention. Students that might be maybe not performing as well because of life issues, not because of academic issues. So we bring them in, small cohort environment at the college. They get integrated with the college. They get all the services that we offer, including mental health services through Baycare, who we contract with, all of our academic advising to help prep them for transfer to the university setting or to an AA degree for us and a baccalaureate degree with us. But look at this here too. You'll see 25 achieved a 4.0 grade point average of 135. And while that may not seem a lot to you, it's a lot, because if you see these students when they come in, the attention that they need, we give it to them and they're able to be successful. And I could stand here and share story after story after story. I'll just share one. One of my predecessors, someone who was very near and dear to my heart, I was able to have multiple conversations with him, but former President Larry Durrance, his granddaughter participated in the Gateway program and is now at the University of North Florida and just really needed a closer knit environment to succeed. So I was very proud to see her move on to the University of North Florida and to work with Dr. Durrance and his lovely wife in making that happen. She would have made it without me, but it was just nice to see that happen. I just would like to focus on the number of scholarships also. You see 2.1 million and also 1.3 million. Yes, a lot of that is through our Polk State College Foundation. And I did mention that Jeff Baldwin is here. I asked him to join me so that he could meet you. So if you have a moment to say hi to Jeff, and thank you for your help with that. But Jeff is our Vice President of Resource Development and also Executive Director of our foundation. Jeff, if you could raise your hand. Quick story about Jeff, not a story, background, because he'll be concerned if I start telling stories about him already after working with him for a month. Right. He's from Lakeland, born here in Lakeland, and has come back. He was away for 20 years and worked at multiple universities and nonprofits like the American Heart Association. Recently came to us from Northern Kentucky University. I'm yet to meet his mother, but I look forward to meeting her because I understand I will be her favorite person since I brought him back home. That's what I've been told. I brought him. The foundation board brought him back home, not me. I was just working alongside the executive committee to hire the best person, but welcome back home. Programs and degrees. We offer approximately 25 associate degrees, 6 bachelor's degrees, 32 certificates and other programs. And here's some just fun statistics about the college. 70% of our graduates remain here in Polk County following graduation. That is a very different mission than a lot of the other higher education institutions here. Many of the other institutions are looking for the students to go beyond the area. We are dedicated, we have to, by statute, to training our local workforce and making sure that we have the relevant programs necessary to impact the local workforce. So if any of you have programs or customized training that you need to be completed, please call me, email me. We will work to make that happen. Just an example, the city of Winter Haven wanted a public affairs program. And so we developed public administration and affairs, and we developed a customized training for the city of Winter Haven recently. And we just saw our first graduating class. So, we customize the training. We can hire the experts. We can hire them anywhere in the country and bring them right here to you. Well, this is exciting because it is Hispanic Heritage Month. And when I was hired, a trustee, who many of you may know, Teresa Martinez, came to me and she said, Dr. Falconetti, I would like for you to ensure that Polk State College becomes a Hispanic serving institution. So I pulled all the data and said, well, this should be easy because if you look at the trends, we will be, the trends locally. So this mirrors our demographic trends, but it wasn't easy. There was a lot of marketing and campaigning. I speak Spanish fluently. As I mentioned, my parents are Cuban exiles. Brenda and I share the Hispanic heritage in common, and have been on Univision or Tampa, Telemundo, talking about the college in Spanish, promoting our non-credit and our credit opportunities. And that is for sure my background. Music at this time, it usually happens around this time in the presentation, so I hope you enjoy the music. I know it's okay. It's okay. I enjoy it. So when I was hired, we were at 19% Hispanic student population, and now we're at 26%. But I want to make something very clear. I'm not just focused on the Hispanic students just because I'm Hispanic. I was asked that when I was first hired. And of course, that's not true. All of the students should have the opportunities to excel regardless of their backgrounds. This just opens up the college to be eligible to apply for Title III and Title V grants that will impact all students. So for example, as I put in a personal plug, although she's already heard it, so I'm really not pitching right now, with Alice Hunt, as our U.S. Congressman Scott Franklin visited our college a couple of weeks ago for a Hispanic forum and discussion. This was something we talked about, is how our congressmen can be, or representatives of Congress can be helpful in supporting institutions that are public, in this case, Polk State, in applying for these grants, and really in the form of a letter of support. But this is going to be a game changer for our college, because with more money, we can do more for all students, not just the Hispanic students. This is a fun grant. Just wanted to spotlight one of the many grants that we have at the college. This is literally, it's called the Metallica Scholars, but it really does come from Metallica, the band Metallica. Metallica has their own foundation, all within my hands, and they focus on ensuring that students have opportunities to move through metalworking programs. So you'll see here, we received $150,000 in grant funding for short-term computer control machining training. And also you see that students become eligible for 6 National Institute for Metalworking Skills certifications and high demand, high wage jobs relevant here in the county. I'm very proud of this program. Another great story. I participated in the graduation of the first cohort. It was at our Advanced Technology Center in Bartow. And I've listened to a couple of people, but one in particular, a lady, she claimed, she said to the group, she was in her 50s, and she said she was let go at Disney because of COVID. Excuse me. And she said, well, what can I do to make sure that I'm in the workforce and be relevant? Did not have a background in metalworking skills at all. Came back to us, was retrained, and is now entering the workforce with a $60,000 wage because of this program. This is in partnership with the American Association of Community Colleges. When you talk about changing lives, I mean, that's what I see on a daily basis. That's why I have committed my life to my professional life to really giving back to this community and to making a difference as a president. The future is bright for Polk State, which means the future is bright for Polk County. Of course, it wouldn't be bright for us if the county's future wasn't bright. We have. Look at the growth that we're positioned for. Just to tell you a little bit about the future, we do have a piece of property in Haines City, Davenport, that we look forward to developing on in the future. That is going to be listed in our legislative priorities this year. Of course, like anything else in life, it takes money, and so we don't have that yet, but we're going to work toward that. It'll be about a $50 million project, and we look forward to the potential of partnering with Advent Health and the local industry in Haines City, Davenport to build. But all of our programs can really use expansion. So again, I want to thank you. We just got through our Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, our reaffirmation, which means our accrediting agency, 10-year visit with no findings. We were part of 5% of the population in the Southern region, all the universities and colleges that didn't have any follow-up documentation to provide. So I could continue. Thank you very much. Blood, sweat, and tears, Dr. Ryder. Yes, but it was a great effort on behalf of our entire institution. And as I said to our board of trustees, who, by the way, last night at the board meeting, Ashley Bell Barnett, if I don't know if you know her, but she is the chair of our district board of trustees as of last night. Thrilled to work with her. And Greg Littleton, CEO of Citizens Bank, became the vice chair. But as I said to our trustees, knowing that I became president 4 years ago and was integrated into our culture of assessment and evaluation, I said, if you don't believe in God, you should, because miracles happen, and this is one of them. The fact that we got through it with no findings. So I want to thank you for everything that you do. I could go on and tell you about COVID and all of the above and what we did to get through it. If you would like to secure a document that might put you to sleep at night if you have any insomnia, please do go to our website and look at our return to campus plan. The VP of Business Administration and I authored that plan in looking at national models, speaking with our local health industry and providers to make sure that we are following phases and returning to campus and attending to our faculty who, my hat's off to our faculty because they transitioned in March of 2020 over 1,100 classes, about 440 full-time faculty and part-time faculty adjuncts, online or hybrid in format. And so we look forward to the future. We know the future is bright. And at this point, I believe my time's up, but I'll maybe entertain a question or two if that's okay. Yes.
Dr. Falconetti, you are the other president of the college, and it says
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So the question was, have I or any of the other state college presidents or community college presidents had to defend the baccalaureates that we offer? And the answer is yes. I have not had to publicly defend them, but yes. In particular, our baccalaureates were established to serve an industry need, not to compete with the universities in a purposeful way, but specifically to meet local industry need. So if we stay focused on that, we present any kind of baccalaureate proposals. For example, I co-authored with a team, the baccalaureate for engineering technology that is Daytona State's current engineering program for their baccalaureate program years ago. And we went and presented it to the State Board of Education. It's the same now, presented to the state board and they approve it. What's interesting about your question, Dawn, is we're seeing a little bit of a shift. Now the universities are beginning to talk more, and the public universities are beginning to talk more about workforce education, that they are workforce providers and they're providing certifications through their continuing education programs. And for us, we know that that's what we do. We're nimble, we train. But it's interesting, as the governor has, announced that he wants the state of Florida as his goal to be #1 in workforce by 2030. Everybody seems to be singing the same tune. So, I say stay tuned. I think that the future for us is also the House last year, passed a bill, House Bill 1507, that reconceptualized workforce development in the state. And so we will be needing now, if we want to provide a customized training program, we're going to need to have it reviewed by a curriculum review committee at the state level that is defined in statute. So the opposite is happening even. So they're being more scrupulous about the types of workforce non-credit programs that we offer, as opposed to the baccalaureates. That was a great question. Thank you. Any other questions? I know you're not shy. No, have I been that boring? I was trying to make it a little comical here and there. Yes, ma'am.
It's a 2-to-1 ratio. But I understand is that there's a lot more women in college now than men, I guess. Are you seeing that here, that there's a drop in male enrollments, and is anything done to support men?
That's a great question. Yes, that is a trend that we're seeing. I don't know that, let me just answer it differently. There's not a drop, there's just not an increase, if that makes sense. So it's about stable, but that's a really good question. Interestingly, serving today on the Winter Haven Hospital board, they were talking about the nurses and the number of females versus males. So I think it is symptomatic of higher education as a whole. When there is residential life, and this is a statistic that, I cannot prove at this point in time, so I don't have a reference, but when there's residential life, you tend to see a bit more men enrolled. At our college, we have several programs. We have student clubs that are dedicated to men, specifically Black males, because those tend to be in our demographics, the Black males do not perform as well as the other demographic in the male category, but we open that club up to everyone. So we have several initiatives that are focused on ensuring that men are successful and are enrolled. The same with females, though. We try to be equitable across the board. But that was a great question. Hot topic item, masks. Anybody want to ask a question about masks for the state college system? Political? Yes.
Nobody else has a question. I do want to ask about the corporate travel, which big deal 10 years ago. Is that unique among Florida's colleges? How is it?
Great question. So the first question is our corporate college, which provides customized training to lead to a national industry recognized credential or credentials. Is that typical across the state? So the corporate college is not as typical across the state. It is a bit of a different model. Now, this may sound like a confusing answer. However, the non-credit training is typical across the state. It just tends to happen in different pockets of the institutions. So we have a very special model here. In fact, the president and his team of Pasco Hernando College came here to look at our corporate college and is now working to establish one at Pasco Hernando. How is the corporate college doing? It's doing well. If you look at our corporate college, we have our Advanced Technology Center that is what it's called, Clear Springs Advanced Technology Center. Currently, our corporate college is more focused on the advanced manufacturing area and responding to businesses. So we have a very strong relationship with Mosaic. We have a very strong relationship now with Florida Can Manufacturing. Don't know if you're familiar with Florida Can, a new canning company that was developed in Winter Haven. And so we are training their employees. Nucor Steel. I took a tour. I was received a tour of their plant recently and met several of our students that completed short-term training programs to operate all of the steel manufacturing, the whole plant really there from an electronic standpoint. It was very interesting. And so Coca-Cola, we're also doing training for Coca-Cola. So you go down the list, we're doing well. But see, from where I sit, that's the area that we can grow the most. From my purview, the non-credit training and customized training for our industry here locally is a priority for mine. And so I'm going to share this as a potential pause to the answer of your question. Stay tuned. Yes.
How has COVID impacted you? I'm sure most of the people with online studies, how has that affected students in it?
I'm going to give you my perspective. This is not couched in data. This is my perspective. First of all, it impacted, like all of you, like any business, it impacted every single facet of what we do. We moved all of our, I talked about the faculty moving their courses online or in a hybrid format. We moved all of our student services online, remote, via Zoom, or via Microsoft Teams or via telephone. All of our business processes, and we had to make sure that computers were delivered. And we're talking about, we have over 1,500 employees. Our budget is currently about 58 million. So we're talking about a lot of employees delivering computers, picking them up, making sure they had the infrastructure in place, making sure that someone, if they were going to be picking it up, we weren't spreading the virus as we were handing them the computers. There are a lot of details involved in this. The positive of all of it is that, while I believe higher education as a whole doesn't have the infrastructure, and I'll talk about Polk State, doesn't have the infrastructure to really have employees working from a remote standpoint, we had to adapt. And we hear those terms pivot, unprecedented times. We had to do that. We didn't skip a beat. I mean, that's the good part. In the end, we didn't. For our students, we purchased Chromebooks. So we dispersed over 500 Chromebooks to students. You're very familiar, I'm sure a lot of people like to sound what I call fancy in higher education and use the term the digital divide. The digital divide is true. The students that don't have access to computers all of a sudden didn't have an access to the computer level. What do? Well, we developed a phone number and also outreach through our faculty and student services that if students didn't have a computer that they could check out a Chromebook, like a library book. And so we've instituted that practice. We still have some employees working from home. So now I'm talking about the present. What has it done to change our operations? Because I believe that higher education and Polk State will never be the same. Our students now are mostly used to seeing advisors online. So why come in person? So now there are students in person, but we also have a virtual student service center that we continue to operate. The mask issue across the state, I joked, every institution though across the state is dealing with that in their local areas that they serve, local jurisdictions. And so all in all, I mean, we've been very successful, but it has impacted every single facet of our institution. And, the worst part in all of this is seeing people that are knowing people, our faculty that are no longer with us because of COVID, not because we can prove that they got it in the classrooms because the majority of our classes were taught online or hybrid. But today we still have the majority of our classes taught online and hybrid. All of our employees are back, unless I said some are at home, unless they have major underlying health conditions. And we have attorneys that have worked on protocol to make sure that they provide the appropriate paperwork to make sure that they can work from home. And so we're really doing our best to accommodate as many people as possible. Any other questions about that? No? Okay. Yes, I think this is the last question, and I'm going to hand it back to you. Yes. All right.
How would someone get an audience or make suggestions?
Well, if it's you, we can talk right now as soon as the meeting's over. But if not, really anybody can reach out to me or any of our vice presidents, but our corporate college is named in title. We do have a director of our corporate college. His name is Howard Drake, and his email is hdrake@polk.edu. But I would be thrilled to have a conversation with you. Thank you so much. Again, I love Lakeland. Thank you for your support. Please continue to contact me. I say that, we have friends and I need friends in all places, not just low places. So let me know if you're not having a good experience with our institution, and I will make sure that I respond, and we will make sure that we are successful together. Thank you. And thank you again for having me.
All right, Jack, with our 50-50. Dr. Falconetti, I have this small gift for you. I did jot down your introduction in it, so there aren't any pages left. But I'll make sure that I get you another one. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I don't have a comeback for that. That was so good.
While they're doing that, next week's program, Lakeland City Commission Candidate Forum. And this ticket is for 50-50, last 4 digits, 7-5. What the? What are you doing, James?
Look, Eric's got me doing 40 things today. I'm sorry.
7548. Oh, no, where? There we go. Scott? And we have a second.
When I get done, I'll go wash the dishes. Sorry.
All right. While he's doing that, guests and visiting Rotarians, thank you for coming. Kyle, Lydia, Jennifer, and welcome, Michelle. Welcome back again. Okay. How she went? 10.
Yeah, hurry up.
We don't have all day. It's 12:59.
Telling me.
All right.
That's for the pot.
Okay, for the putt. Last 4 digits, 7552.
Oh, yeah.
Again?
I did this last week and went wide right. I'm going to have Dr. Falconetti come up and do the putt this time.
Probably do really well.
Okay. No, yeah, there you go. Put it in.
It depends on if you're right or left-handed.
Are you right or left?
I'm right.
Okay. Gotta get it down there. Hold on, I'll go down and help.
But if you're going to help me, you need to hold the cup up in the air.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, ready?
ready?
How much time do no.
Oh,
Hey, help me.
So close.
I need training.
Thank you. All right, and finish up now for the bad dad joke. And this is in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, and I know that makes some of you very nervous, including me, but I think it's going to be okay. I try not to say mucho around my Spanish-speaking friends. It means a lot to them. We are adjourned.
there we go.